They lie to your face. They manipulate the facts. They try to undermine your hard work while smiling at you. If you have ever felt powerless against a toxic colleague, a controlling partner, or a fake friend, you know exactly what I am talking about. But here is the truth. You do not need to be a bad person to out-navigate them. You just need to be smarter, sharper, and more calculated. Welcome to the masterclass on psychological self-defense. Today we are not just talking about coping, we are talking about taking control. We are applying the timeless strategy of Niccolo Machiavelli to the modern arena of life. A crucial warning before we start. These are tools for high-stakes conflicts with manipulators. Do not use them on friends, loved ones, or in healthy disagreements. You don't wear armor to a dinner party. These are shields designed to neutralize the tactics of those who try to hurt you. In the next few minutes, we will hand you 10 psychological tools that will completely shift the power dynamic in your favor. You will learn how to use silence to make them second-guess themselves and how to use their own aggression against them. We will show you why explaining yourself is a trap and how to become a puzzle they simply cannot solve. We are going to cover the art of playing the fool to catch a liar in the act. You will discover why isolation is the bully's worst nightmare and how to dismantle their support system without looking like the bad guy. We will also teach you the hardest skill of all, waiting for the perfect moment of leverage. By trick 3, you'll stop wasting energy on useless arguments. And by trick 10, you will be emotionally untouchable. This is about reclaiming your peace and your power. By the end of this video, you will have a blueprint to outmaneuver anyone who tries to play dirty with you. Are you ready to stop being a target and start being a strategist? Let's dive in. Trick 1. The strategy of calculated silence. The first trick is the most accessible but often the hardest to execute. Silence. When someone attacks you or attempts a manipulation tactic, they are looking for a specific currency, your reaction. They want noise, defense, and drama. By giving them absolute silence, you remove the fuel from their strategy immediately. Silence creates a vacuum of pressure. Human beings are socially conditioned to be terrified of awkward pauses. When you do not respond, the other person's brain goes into overdrive, wondering if they went too far or if you know something they don't. They will often start talking just to fill the quiet, revealing their insecurities and often admitting more than they intended. Use this specifically when you are presented with a ridiculous deadline, an insult disguised as a joke, or a blatant lie. Do not explode. Just look at them calmly and count to 4 in your head. That 4-second pause feels like an eternity to a manipulator. It signals that you are not rattled and that you are analyzing them calmly. Machiavelli noted that power is often silent. The person who speaks the most in a room is rarely the one in charge. By withholding your words, you force the other person to show their hand while you keep yours hidden. You become an observer rather than a participant in their chaos. This technique also buys you emotional distance. In the heat of the moment, we often say things we regret, giving our opponents ammunition. Silence protects you from your own impulsive emotions. It gives you the space to formulate a logical, precise response, or to decide that no response is necessary at all. It is important to maintain strong body language during this silence. Do not look down. That looks like submission. Maintain soft but direct eye contact. This combination of silence and focus is incredibly disarming to someone who relies on bullying tactics. Interestingly, negotiation experts use this to get better deals. When they reject an offer, they often stay quiet. The other side, feeling the weight of the silence, usually starts bidding against themselves. You can use this same principle in social conflicts. Let them bid against themselves for your approval. Remember, you are not being passive. You are being strategic. You are choosing not to engage on their level. You are forcing them to step into your arena, where calm analysis beats emotional outbursts every time. However, silence is only the first step. Once you have unsettled them with your quiet confidence, you must ensure they cannot read your next move. Trick 2. Conceal your intentions. Machiavelli's core advice is never to let your opponent know what you are truly up to. Transparency is a beautiful quality in a healthy relationship, but dealing with a dirty player, transparency is a vulnerability. If they know your goals, they can block them. If they know your fears, they can exploit them. You must learn to wear a mask of neutrality. If you are planning to leave a toxic job, do not complain to your coworkers. Act as if you are happy and settled, while you quietly build your exit strategy in the background. This prevents sabotage and keeps your options open. However, use this selectively. Do not hide your feelings from people who have earned your trust, or you will end up isolated. This technique is a shield for enemies, not a wall for friends. This is often called strategic ambiguity. You want your opponent to be unsure of where you stand. Are you angry? Are you happy? Are you quitting? Are you fighting for a promotion? When they cannot pin you down, they cannot target you effectively. Use decoys to distract them. Seem interested in a project you actually don't care about, so they waste their energy blocking you there, leaving your true path wide open. It is a slight sleight of hand that protects your real ambitions. It is not about being a liar, it is about being private. In an era of oversharing on social media, we forget the power of privacy. Information is leverage. Do not hand that leverage over to people who have proven they will misuse it. When you finally make your move, it should come as a complete surprise to them. The element of surprise is a force multiplier. It gives them no time to prepare a counter-argument or a defense. They are left scrambling while you are already crossing the finish line. Be careful who you trust. A Machiavellian adversary will often send proxies, people who pretend to be your friends to gather intel. Keep your circle tight and your plans tighter. Only reveal your success when it is already secured. Mastering the art of the poker face takes practice, but it is essential. You want to appear simpler and more predictable than you actually are. Let them underestimate you. But what happens when they openly challenge you? Do you argue back? Absolutely not. Trick 3 is where you end that game permanently. Trick 3. Win through actions, not arguments. One of the biggest mistakes we make is trying to convince a toxic person that we are right. Machiavelli warns that words are easily twisted, but results are solid. When you argue, you are stepping into the mud. You are validating their opinion as something worth debating. Instead of fighting them verbally, defeat them with competence. If a coworker questions your ability, do not write an angry email. Go out and deliver a project so undeniable that it makes their words look ridiculous. Success is the ultimate silencer. Arguments exhaust you. They drain the mental energy you need for your own growth. A dirty player loves an argument because it drags you down to their level and wastes your time. By refusing to argue, you preserve your energy for things that actually benefit you. Think of it as aggressive success. When you are busy winning, you do not have time to bicker. This attitude drives manipulators crazy because they crave your attention. When you give your attention to your goals instead of their noise, you win twice. History is filled with figures who were slandered but chose to focus on their work. Eventually, the slander fades, but the work remains. Build your legacy on the stone of action, not the sand of words. If you must speak, keep it brief and factual. The data speaks for itself is a powerful phrase. It removes your ego from the equation and points to objective reality. It is hard to argue with a spreadsheet or a finished product. This approach protects your reputation in the eyes of others. Observers respect the person who keeps their head down and delivers. They lose respect for the person who is always involved in office drama or shouting matches. Sometimes, the smartest move is to let them think they won the verbal debate. Smile, nod, and then go do exactly what you know is right. You are not submitting. You are bypassing their gatekeeping. Let your achievements make the noise. A lion does not need to roar to prove it is a lion. It just hunts. Be the lion in your field. However, sometimes you need to gather information to take the right action. The best way to do that is to pretend you know less than you do. Trick 4. The Columbo method. Feign ignorance. There is a massive strategic advantage in appearing slightly less intelligent than you are. This is often called the Columbo method, named after the TV detective who acted confused to get suspects to lower their guard. When people think you are not a threat, they get sloppy. If a manipulator thinks they are the smartest person in the room, their ego expands. They start to brag, they start to lie openly, and they stop covering their tracks. This is when you catch them. Ask innocent, naive questions. I don't quite understand. Could you explain that part again? Force them to spin their web of lies until they get tangled in it. You are not attacking them. You are just asking for help. This allows you to verify their honesty without being accusatory. If you know the answer to a question, ask it anyway. Watch how they answer. Do they lie? Do they omit facts? Now you know exactly who you are dealing with. This tactic acts as a camouflage. It allows you to move through a hostile environment without drawing fire. You are just the friendly, harmless person who needs a little extra explanation. Meanwhile, you are taking mental notes of everything. It is also a great way to deflect work that is being unfairly dumped on you. Oh, I am just so bad at formatting reports, you are the master at it. Use their vanity to push the work back onto them. Machiavelli advised that a prince must sometimes play the beast and sometimes play the man. Part of that is knowing when to play the fool. It takes confidence to put your ego aside, but the intelligence you gather is worth it. Don't overplay it or you will lose professional respect. Just dial down your sharpness enough to make them feel safe. Comfort breeds carelessness, and carelessness breeds mistakes. Once you have gathered your intel, you can drop the act when the time is right. The look on their face when they realize you knew everything all along is priceless. But sometimes passive observation isn't enough. Sometimes you need to actively disrupt their behavior. This is where the mirror comes in. Trick 5. The mirror effect. Mirroring is a powerful psychological tool usually used to build rapport, but it can be repurposed for defense. When someone is being aggressive or unreasonable, subtly mirror their behavior back to them. This holds a looking glass up to their absurdity. If they send you short, curt emails, stop sending them long, polite explanations. Send short, curt emails back. If they wait 3 days to reply to you, wait 3 days to reply to them. This teaches them that their behavior sets the standard for the relationship. This is not about being petty. It is about strict reciprocity. It signals that you are not a doormat. You are a wall that bounces their energy back. If they want cooperation, they must give cooperation. Mirroring their body language can also be disarming. If they lean forward aggressively, do not shrink back. Lean in. Match their intensity. It disrupts their dominance script. They are used to people cowering, not matching them. Often, when people see their own bad behavior reflected, they realize how ridiculous it looks. You don't even have to say you are being rude. You just show them what they look like. This also works for verification. If they try to gaslight you, repeat their exact words back to them. So, just to be clear, you are saying that you never agreed to this deadline? Hearing it spoken aloud often forces them to walk it back. Be careful not to mirror unethical actions. If they lie or steal, do not do the same. That compromises your integrity. Mirror their tone, their availability, and their level of effort. Keep your hands clean while playing the game. This technique helps you detach emotionally because you are just following a rule. Input equals output. You stop trying to overcompensate for their lack of effort. It establishes a boundary without a confrontation. You are simply training them on how to treat you. Checkpoint, the mirror check. We are halfway through, so let's pause. Ask yourself, am I using these tactics to protect myself, or am I starting to enjoy the game too much? If you find yourself manipulating innocent people or becoming paranoid, stop. These tools are meant to bring you peace, not turn you into the very thing you are fighting. If you've lost sight of that, take a step back. Now let's move to Trick 6, where you learn how to make even difficult people cooperate, without begging. Trick 6. Appeal to self-interest. One of the harsh truths of Machiavellian psychology is that toxic people do not care about your feelings. Appealing to their mercy, gratitude, or pity is a waste of breath. If you want them to move, you must show them what is in it for them. Machiavelli stated that men are driven by self-interest. Stop asking for favors and start proposing trades. If you need a difficult boss to approve a project, don't tell them how much it means to you. Tell them how it will make them look good to the board. When you are under attack, do not beg them to stop. Warn them that their actions are hurting their reputation. People are starting to notice this behavior, and I would hate for it to affect your promotion chances. You are framing your defense as protection for them. This requires you to step outside your own pain and analyze what they value. Do they want money, power, recognition? Once you identify their currency, you can negotiate. Imagine asking your boss for a deadline extension. Don't say, I am stressed. Say, if we extend this by 2 days, the final quality will be high enough to impress your manager. You solve their problem, not yours. This approach gives you power because you are no longer a victim asking for help. You are a partner offering value. It changes the dynamic from please to here is the deal. Note: if you are dealing with someone who is completely irrational and refuses to see mutual benefit, this trick is your signal to stop negotiating and distance yourself. Even if you have to dig deep to find a benefit for them, do it. Frame your success as a necessary component of their success. If I succeed at this, you get the credit for managing the team. This method is cynical, yes, but highly effective. It cuts through the drama and gets straight to the motivation. By aligning your goals with their greed, you turn an obstacle into a reluctant ally. They might not like you, but they will help you because it helps themselves. But to keep them truly off balance, you cannot be a steady target. You need to introduce chaos. Trick 7. Strategic unpredictability. Routine makes you safe, but it also makes you an easy target. If your opponent knows exactly how you will react to an insult or a setback, they can plan their attack perfectly. You must become strategically unpredictable. Disrupt your baseline. If you are usually the quiet one, speak up boldly in a meeting. If you are usually the one who fixes everyone's problems, step back and let it crash. This sudden change in behavior alarms people. Unpredictability creates a sense of hesitation in your opponents. They don't know which version of you they will get today, so they become cautious. It builds a buffer zone of respect around you. This doesn't mean being unprofessional or erratic. It means being flexible in your strategy. Do not let yourself be pigeonholed. Show that you have range and that you are not running on a pre-written script. In negotiations, throw in a curveball. Ask for something they didn't expect, or concede a point that seemed important. It forces them to rethink their entire plan on the fly. Machiavelli advises that a leader should be enigmatic. When people cannot figure you out, they project their own fears onto you. You become more powerful simply by being hard to read. This also keeps life interesting for you. It prevents you from becoming a robot in your own life. You reclaim your agency by choosing to act differently. Use this when you feel someone trying to control you. Break the pattern they are relying on. If they expect a yes, give them a maybe. By being fluid, you become like water, impossible to grasp and impossible to break. However, dirty players rarely work alone. They often have a pack. To win, you must dismantle their group dynamic. Trick 8. Dismantle the coalition. Bullies and office politicians often derive their confidence from their audience. They form coalitions to make you feel isolated. The key here is not to fight the group, but to dismantle the pressure they create. This is the divide and conquer principle adapted for self-defense. To be clear, we are not talking about destroying healthy collaborative teams. We are talking about neutralizing a toxic clique that has targeted you. Rarely are these groups truly loyal to each other. They are usually united by convenience or fear. You can exploit this. Don't address the group as a whole. Address individuals. Catch one of the group members when they are alone. Be kind, professional, and normal. Often, without the leader watching, this person will be perfectly reasonable. You are breaking the mob mentality by re-establishing individual human connection. If you are being attacked in a meeting, isolate the aggressor. Is this your opinion, Dave, or is this the team's official stance? Force them to stand alone. Most bullies lose confidence when stripped of their backup. If their alliance is based on false assumptions, ask clarifying questions that expose the reality. Has the boss actually confirmed this is a team decision, or is this just Dave's opinion? You are not creating division. You are simply revealing the truth that was already there. Machiavelli warned against letting opponents unite. If you see a toxic clique forming, intervene early by building separate bridges with the members. Keep your relationships distinct. This reduces the collective pressure on you. It turns a 5-on-1 fight into 5 one-on-one conversations, which are much easier to handle. Once you have isolated the threat, you simply need to outlast them. Trick 9. The long game. Patience as leverage. Dirty players are usually impulsive. They want the quick win, the immediate reaction, the fast money. Your greatest advantage is your ability to wait. Patience is not passivity. It is waiting for the perfect moment of leverage. Machiavelli teaches that timing is everything. If you react in anger, you will likely miss and expose yourself. If you wait, you can watch them make mistakes, and they will make mistakes. Toxic behavior is often unsustainable. They burn bridges, they lie to the wrong people, and they take shortcuts that eventually collapse. If you are patient, you often don't have to do anything but watch them dismantle their own careers. Picture a colleague who lies to get ahead. You could expose them now and look petty. Or you can wait 3 months until they lie to the wrong client and get fired without you lifting a finger. That is the power of the long game. While you wait, you are not idle. You are sharpening your skills, documenting their behavior, and building your resources. You are getting stronger while they are getting sloppy. Think of it as playing chess. You don't take a piece just because you can. You wait until taking that piece guarantees the game. This long game mentality signals massive confidence. It shows you are not desperate or easily triggered. You trust that the truth, and your competence, will win in the end. It allows you to pick your battles. You don't fight every skirmish. You only fight the wars that matter. This conserves your resources for the big wins. So when they play dirty, take a deep breath. Look at the horizon. Ask yourself, will this matter in a year? If not, let it go. If yes, plan your response carefully. The person who can control their impulse for immediate gratification always has the upper hand. But to maintain this patience, you need a mind that cannot be shaken. Trick 10. Emotional detachment, the mental fortress. The final and most critical trick is to construct a mental fortress. Machiavellian tactics rely on your emotions. If they can make you angry, fearful, or insecure, they own you. You must learn to detach. View their behavior clinically. Instead of thinking, "He is attacking me," think, "He is using a manipulation tactic because he is insecure." This shift from victim to observer neutralizes the pain. When you are detached, their insults are just noise. You see them as data points, not definitions of your worth. You become a scientist studying a pattern from behind safety glass. This clarity allows you to choose the best strategy. You cannot think clearly when your blood is boiling. Detachment gives you the cool head required to execute all the other tricks we've discussed. Practice mindfulness to create a gap between the stimulus and your response. In that gap lies your freedom. You choose how to react. You choose if you react. This doesn't mean you turn off your feelings. It means you protect them. You keep your heart for your loved ones and bring only your logic to the arena. When a dirty player sees they cannot upset you, they often lose interest. They are looking for an emotional payout that you are refusing to provide. You become boring to them, and they move on. By mastering emotional detachment, you become unshakable. No matter what they do, your core self remains untouched, focused, and driving towards your purpose. Navigating a world filled with manipulation is exhausting, but you are no longer defenseless. You now have the tools to silence the noise, conceal your strategy, and win through results. You know how to mirror their energy, dismantle their pressure, and play the long game. Remember, these are defensive tools. We do not use them to harm others. We use them to ensure no one can harm us. We use them to clear the path for our own success. Machiavelli wrote for princes, but you are the ruler of your own life. And finally, remember that sometimes the ultimate power move is simply to leave the table entirely. If a situation is destroying your health, no trick is worth staying. But if you choose to stay and fight, do it intelligently. Do not try to master all 10 at once. Pick the one that resonates most with your current struggle. Maybe it is the power of silence or the art of detachment, and try it tomorrow. Watch how the dynamic shifts. It takes courage to stand firm. It takes discipline to stay cool, but you are capable of both. You have a strength inside you that is greater than their games. Stay smart, stay calculated, and most importantly, stay focused on your vision. If this video gave you a new perspective, hit the like button and subscribe. We decode the psychology of power every week to help you win. Share this with a friend who needs to hear it. Tell us in the comments, have you dealt with someone truly toxic? What worked for you? And if you plan to use one of these tactics, let us know the situation. Let's make sure you are using the right tool for the right problem. We are here to help each other win the right way. Thanks for watching. The best response is massive success. Go get yours.